Hi, friends. Hello, everyone. This is In Science. My name is Alina, and we're happy to welcome you to our Science Kids Lecture, a popular science series for children and everyone getting to know science. And this is my ginger assistant, Garek. Today, you'll meet our speaker, Yuliana Kuznetsova. Together with her, we'll talk about the strangest planets in the universe, both imaginary and real. You can watch this webinar thanks to the support of the University of St. Andrews in Scotland. I realized that bringing my cat might not have been the best idea. He's just a little too distracting. Let's let him run off and play. So now is the perfect time to send some hearts and likes. If you're watching us on YouTube, leave a comment and thank the University of St. Andrews for supporting our lecture series. And now, let's meet today's lecturer. Those of you who joined us for the first webinar of the new season might remember her. Please welcome Yuliana Kuznetsova, a research associate at the Department of Physics of Substellar and Planetary Systems of the Main Astronomical Observatory of the National Academy of Sciences of Ukraine. She's also passionate about astrobiology, the search for signs of life in the solar system and on exoplanets. And of course, she loves doing her own astronomical observations. Yuliana, hi. We're so happy to have you with us today. Hi, everyone. I'm really glad to be here again. Today we'll dive once more into the world of distant, faraway exoplanets. First, we'll see how strange planets can be in human imagination, and then, which of them astronomers have actually discovered. Imagine a planet that's intelligent, but not with humanoid beings walking on its surface. The entire planet itself is one single intelligent creature. Such a remarkable intelligent planet was described in the science fiction novel Solaris by the famous Polish writer Stanisław Lem, way back in 1961. In this story, a team of scientists aboard a research space station tries to understand an extraterrestrial intelligence that takes the form of a vast living ocean covering an alien planet. Next, the science fiction film Interstellar. In it, astronauts reach an unusual planet called Gargantua that orbits a black hole. The waves there rise dozens of meters high. Incredible. And time passes extremely slowly. 1 hour on that planet equals 7 years on Earth. Just breathtaking. Before we start exploring exotic exoplanets, let's look at what surfaces exist in our own solar system. For instance, asteroids, airless, very cold, rocky bodies. The moon, also rocky with no atmosphere but covered with soft regolith that keeps footprints like those left by astronauts Venus, extremely hot, its surface scorched. Mars, on the contrary, very cold, though it has a thin atmosphere and that famous red color Titan. Saturn's largest moon has a reddish-orange atmosphere and rocky surface. And the only body in our solar system with liquid water on its surface, our Earth. So, what about exoplanets? All the exoplanets discovered so far fall into 4 types. Earth-like planets, solid and rocky, similar to Earth or even smaller. Super-Earths, also rocky but much larger. Mini-Neptunes, smaller gas giants like Uranus or Neptune, gas giants, similar to Jupiter or Saturn, or even much bigger. Now, which of them are the strangest exoplanets of all? Let's start with our closest neighbors. 2 exoplanets orbit the nearest star to the Sun, Proxima Centauri. Imagine standing on such a planet and seeing 3 suns in the sky, 1 large star, the one your planet orbits, and 2 smaller ones glowing nearby. That's the view we'd have if we could really stand there. Of course, it's an artist's impression, not a photograph. This whole 3-star system is called Alpha Centauri. 2 of its stars are larger and brighter, while the smaller red dwarf, Proxima Centauri, is cooler. Proxima Centauri b, the planet orbiting that red dwarf, is constantly bombarded by powerful ultraviolet radiation. That's what makes the surface conditions so hostile for life. Here's how the stars move within that system. Alpha Centauri A and B, the big bright ones, orbit a common center of mass in a beautiful dance. Proxima Centauri, the little red dwarf, is much farther away and circles both of them once every 500,000 years. Let's move on. What would it look like to stand on a planet orbiting a pulsar star? A breathtaking, almost eerie view. A pulsar emits powerful beams of light from its poles, like a cosmic lighthouse. When those beams sweep across a planet, you'd literally see flashes of light passing by. Around one such pulsar, astronomers have discovered 3 rocky Earth-like exoplanets named Draugr, Poltergeist and Phobetor. They orbit very close to their star, completing full orbits in just 25, 67, and 98 days. Now, let's look at hot Jupiters, giant planets orbiting very close to their stars. Why are they called hot? Because the intense starlight heats them so much that they start losing parts of their atmospheres, literally being blown away into space. That long, glowing tail you see in illustrations is gas escaping into the void. These planets orbit their stars in just a few days and often have hazy or cloudy atmospheres, which can make it hard for telescopes to detect water vapor below. Here's the hottest of them all, KELT 9b. Its surface temperature exceeds 4,300 degrees Celsius, hotter than some stars. The heat is so extreme that molecules get torn apart, and the planet leaves a massive tail of gas as it loses its atmosphere. Another massive hot Jupiter, Kepler 7b. This was the first exoplanet found to have clouds made of rock or iron particles because its temperature exceeds 1,500 degrees Celsius. Of course, not big stones, tiny mineral grains swirling in the atmosphere. Compared with our Jupiter, Kepler 7b is much larger. Next, Kepler 22b, a truly unique world. It's what scientists call an ocean planet, possibly completely covered in water. It's larger than Earth, but smaller than Neptune, about 9 times Earth's mass and twice its radius. If it really has that much water, its chances of hosting life rise significantly. Another mini-Neptune, GJ1132EB. This planet once had an atmosphere that was blown away by its star's radiation. But then, thanks to intense volcanic activity, it formed a new atmosphere made of volcanic gases. On its day side, the temperature reaches 2,500 degrees Celsius, hotter than the melting point of iron. So iron literally evaporates from its surface and the night side is still scorching, around 1,000 degrees Celsius. Powerful winds carry droplets of molten metal. Imagine rains of liquid iron. Kepler 10b, another extreme world. It's so close to its star that it lost its entire atmosphere. One orbit takes less than a day. Surface temperatures reach 1,527 degrees Celsius, so the iron there would also exist in liquid form. Here's a fascinating one. HD 189733b. It's truly blue. Yes, that's not just an illustration. Its color comes from its super hot atmosphere filled with glassy silicate clouds. At such high temperatures, silicates melt into glass droplets and winds blow them at 2 kilometers per second, faster than the speed of sound. Now, fans of Star Wars, remember the planet Tatooine with 2 suns? Well, such a system really exists. It's called Kepler 16b. There, 2 stars orbit each other while a planet circles them both, but at a 90-degree angle to their plane. Interestingly, those stars aren't true stars. They're brown dwarfs, smaller and cooler than stars, but larger and hotter than gas giants. Another Star Wars world. Malachor, a dark planet with an even darker history. It's home to an ancient Sith temple, a place young Jedi were warned to avoid. And yes, astronomers have found a very similar real planet, even darker. It's called Tres-2b, the darkest known world, reflecting less light than coal. If we tried to fly through its atmosphere, we'd be surrounded by total blackness. Next comes Maldocrate, a frozen world of ice and snow where barren wastelands hide treacherous caves. And scientists have found something similar. The coldest exoplanet ever discovered, a true rogue planet. It drifts through space completely alone, with no star nearby, a solitary, frozen wanderer. Let's turn to literature again, to Brandon Sanderson's novel Skyward. The main character, Spensa, has dreamed since childhood of becoming a starfighter pilot to fight mysterious aliens called Krell. The story takes place on the planet Detritus, where the remnants of humanity live in underground caves after their interstellar ship crash-landed there. Society has split into castes of rich and poor, and people survive under constant threat of alien attacks from orbit. Now, we know who those Krell are, and I'll pass the word back to Elena. Thank you so much, Juliana. Friends, while you're writing in the chat which planet impressed you the most, I have a new creative task for you. Just like after every webinar, this time our cosmic comic continues, and the new chapter is called The Strangest Planets. In your cosmic travel diary, your character should describe the strangest planet they discovered in the universe, what they liked most about it, and what this unusual planet is made of. We can't wait to see your work. And if you're new here, remember, you can still create your own character and keep your travel diary together. Send your completed tasks to us in the Telegram chat. Just scan the QR code you see on the screen. And now, let me announce our next lecture. Our next webinar will take place on Tuesday, and it will be hosted by two scientists, astrophysicist Olena Kompaniets and microbiologist and polar explorer Yevhenia Prekrasna, who worked at the Vernadsky and Arctic Station together. They'll talk about what alien life might look like. We are very excited to see you all there. And for those watching us on YouTube, now's the perfect time to like this video, leave a comment with your impressions, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. And one last note for our older listeners, you can support our lecture series through Monobank or Patreon, so that there are even more popular science lectures by Ukrainian scientists here on Ukrainian YouTube. Thank you so much for staying with us, and see you next time. Bye-bye.